This week on Not Another Shooting Show.
What decision do they have to make about USPSA? What's the problem? Is there an issue? What's the problem?
I probably shouldn't have said that.
I just want to shoot because I didn't want to be a company man.
Rabble.
Rabble. It's not ÖtterSchlöng.
No, it's not ÖtterSchlöng.
It should be ÖtterSchlöng. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show. For the first time, well, no one else has noticed we haven't done a show in 2 weeks, but Jeff and I haven't done a show in 2 weeks, so I kind of miss Jeff. He's been gone. We go to somewhere in Ohio. I don't recall where exactly we're going. Cleveland, Ohio. A man who is 51 accidentally shot himself in the left leg while cleaning a gun at his home. The bullet went through his left calf and became stuck in the mattress below him. I always clean my guns in bed. How about you, Jeff?
I don't clean my guns because they always seem to go off according to all these stories.
Officers confirmed that the gun fired when the man was in the process of fixing a slide jam. Those pesky slide jams. Should have got a revolver. Then he wouldn't have shot himself, right?
Yep.
He was taken... No, it wouldn't have mattered because he was still cleaning it. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. His girlfriend said he was cleaning the gun because he was in the process of selling it. So, don't clean your guns, kids.
And don't sell them. Then boom. Two things out the window.
Yeah, don't sell your guns or you'll shoot yourself. I think that's the lesson we all learned. I think you're absolutely right. Another pretty fun story. Well, not fun in the moment, but there is a thing about this story that's a little weird. Maybe you can guess what it is. An off-duty security guard accidentally shot himself at a Wisconsin Lutheran high school football game Friday night, sending players and fans running for the exits, the school said in a statement. The guard, who is not affiliated with the school, received medical attention, and his injuries were not life-threatening, according to school officials. Milwaukee police didn't immediately respond to a request for comment late Friday. It took place at Zeitler Stadium, just south of the school. The game was called off as a result of the incident, but it didn't affect the outcome because Wisconsin Lutheran was leading 42-0 at the time. So
Jesus, call that a mercy ending.
I don't think it really had any bearing on the game. WISN TV cameras were rolling at the game when the incident took place. There was a pop sound, and then players on the field immediately ran for cover while students and parents scrambled for exits in the stands. I'm kind of surprised that everybody just took off running like immediately. Like everyone automatically knew this pop was a gunshot.
I'm confused, by like that they all heard it, because I can literally stand like at a gun range like 3 or 4 bays down and barely hear it sometimes.
Well, you're always wearing ear pro though.
Touche.
But I mean, still, like that sort of pop, like I don't
could
get
be a car
everyone.
Backfiring, could be.
Yeah, especially at a loud. I don't know how many people were at this game, but several hundred it looks like from the video. But like, there's one pop, and then everybody's like taking off running. Now it is Milwaukee. I guess maybe they're used to the sound of gunshots, so they know what it was. No. But there's also people just sort of standing around, looking around, like, what's going on? It looks more so like a few people started running, then everybody starts running.
Yeah, that's how panic works. Is you're like, everyone's running, I should run. Like, I don't know why, but everyone else seems to, so I'll just join in the gang.
Well, yeah, and without proof of why, I don't know if I would have. I would have been like, what the hell's going on? Is this a prank?
Yeah,
although if I had heard it, I would have recognized the sound, though, probably.
Right.
I don't know. It was just sort of weird. Anyway, another security guard shot himself at a school. I guess the other guy was a cop, though. But the last one, you weren't here for the cop in Marble Falls, Texas, that, he didn't shoot himself in the leg. His P320 shot himself in the leg.
Oh, no.
It was outside the school.
It?
Yeah. Who would have thunk it? It was... And that story was kind of cool, though, in that it was just before a football game, I believe, and there were kids who were rendering first aid to the cop.
Hell yeah!
A bunch of people just were immediately trying to help him, and
that is one of those classes I do think that schools should offer.
Stop the bleed. Hell yeah!
yeah,
basic first aid, CPR.
Basic CPR, first aid. Like, I don't know. That one feels like everyone's always like, oh, they should teach how to do taxes, and you're like, no, you should go hire a tax professional. But that, like, stop the bleed.
What's wrong with TurboTax?
Well, that's a whole conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have me nervous because I've been using TurboTax.
Oh no, TurboTax is fine. It's just they prevent a simpler system from being implemented. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
It's learning how to deal with like car accidents and emergency events. Like that seems very useful for it, instead of just being like, I hope someone here's a doctor.
Right. No, and I mean, even in my job now, working for DOT, like I spent most of the day on the interstate today. You know, I was near lots of vehicles going by, you know, doing our work. And if something happens, we are technically a first responder. You know, it's like we don't carry bleed out kits or anything with us. We've got first aid kits, like, for, you know, Band-Aids and shit. But but at the same time, though, if something happens, we're supposed to help in whatever way we can. So yeah,
right.
I certainly think everybody should know that, you know, how to make bleeding stop, regardless of what causes it.
Yep.
You know, it's more likely going to be something way more accidental and benign than a gunshot wound. It's more likely to be from a car accident or some other thing, you know.
Well, and we'll get to talk about that when we talk about Iowa. So,
okay, yeah, I can't wait. Anyway, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. This entire episode is free, but the next one, if you want to hear all of it, including the spicy talk that happens later on in the show, because we save the spicy stuff for later, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. You get an extra episode every week. Join our Reddit, r/NAS. reddit.com/r/NAS, NASS. We have a lot of fun in there in the NAS Reddit. There's a video I'm very much looking forward to talking about when we get to that part of the show. And then MW Activewear. Michelle, I just got my Sioux Falls Practical Shooters jersey. They're sharp. It's probably the sharpest jersey not that they're not all sharp, just like I don't know, it's a little different. It's a little different flavor than a lot of them. Probably because the guy picking it out he'll hear this. He's an older dude, you know, it's more his taste. You know, there's no rainbow on it like Jeff's jersey, but it's sharp.
It's failure.
It's a sharp looking jersey. I like it.
No rainbow, no good.
Okay. That brings us to the Iowa Hit Factor Championship that you shot at on Sunday with Steven while I was sitting in Austin Dillon's pit box at the Kansas Speedway for the whatever the fuck 400 was going on at the Kansas Speedway. I just got to say, it was really cool. Like, I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. My wife is. She was a kid in a candy store. Like, I thought she was going to tackle Carl Edwards at one point because he was driving the pace car. And don't worry if you don't know these names. I just learned some of them this weekend. But,
okay, good, because I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Yeah, Carl Edwards, if you ever watch SportsCenter, he was the guy that would backflip off the door of his car or the window if he won.
Yeah. I've seen that.
That was him. He's retired. We met Richard Childress. He's like the owner of Richard Childress Racing, you know. It was really cool. The coolest part was sitting in the pit box. Like, we're looking at these four guys and three of them are like nerds. They're like in their 20s or early 30s, and they're looking at computer screens with all these statistics and analytics. And the race is happening around them, but they're watching the car numbers go in a circle representing the track on a screen. And then it's giving them all this data it was actually kind of neat. After every lap, it would say how far the gap was behind the leader, you know, and it would either turn red or green. It was really neat. And then the crew chief was in there yelling at people. No, it was super cool. I was so glad I got to go and didn't get piss pounded by Steven at the Iowa Hit Factor Championship.
Yeah, because you would have, because Steven was fucking on one. It was amazing to watch.
He got second. I forgot Ben Eggleston was there, so
Yep.
I had the joke in mind of like, hey, congratulations, Steven, on winning the Iowa Hit Factor Championship, asterisk.
Right.
Because Lane wasn't there.
Right. None of the high heavy hitters from Omaha decided to show up. So that was. I probably should have said that.
Oh fuck.
Guess we're keeping the spicy stuff here.
That might be an edit. I think that might be an edit.
Yeah.
I think that went a little too far. Okay, that went to the cutting room floor. Anyway,
so, the Iowa Hit Factor Championship ended up being a beautiful day with a lot of good people. I shot like absolute garbage, which really taints my view of the day. I failed at veteran knowledge of Iowa, which is you don't shoot Bay 1 first of the day.
But, no, you don't sign up for Bay 1 first.
Correct. And then that led to Bay 2 also being unfun because the sun was directly in our face. But Steven shot amazing. And I mean, to be 90% of Ben Eggleston is not a bad place to be.
Nope. He had a pretty good day.
So, and if you go to an Iowa match, it always feels the same, but that's not bad overall because every bay, for those who've never been to Iowa, they have 5 big bays. They will have they tend to have a big stage in the front and a small stage in the back. Or
vice versa. Sometimes there's a small one in the front and a big one in the back.
Yeah. And they tend to have between 3 and 5 ROs on a stage, depending on if it's... I've seen up to 5 if there's like a bunch of swingers, but normally I think 3 or 4 was kind of the standard. And it's always the same guys. They have a very strong local community that helps put on their match.
Yeah, they don't need anybody. They don't need outsiders to help with the match. I mean, it's basically the Des Moines Club and another club nearby, and it's Osceola. They usually have people work that too, and probably some other Iowa people.
Right. And so if you show up to the match, you'll know what you're getting. You go to the clubhouse, you're going to have brisket or burgers or something, but it's nice to have a indoor air conditioned space to eat. Even if you're not a fan of the lunch, it is a long walk, which is really annoying when you're on Bay 5 and then you have to walk like 200 yards to lunch and then you have to walk 200 yards back. And then they tend to shoot like stage 11 tends to be into the side of the last berm. And so we shot that and then we went all the way back to the clubhouse where Chrono was. So they actually did Chrono.
I was going to ask if they still did Chrono because it was not a USPSA match.
It was not an USPA match, but they kind of. So they did use USPSA divisions. So I shot in CO and did not compare myself to the limited optics people. So that was annoying. I thought I kind of like that thing about Hit Factor is that they just were like, hey, do you want to shoot 140 millimeter mags or do you want to shoot 50 rounds? Whichever you prefer, go to that division. So
wait. So carry optics was still 140 millimeter mags. It was still regular carry optics.
Correct.
Okay.
The stages were fine. They weren't my favorite.
Low ports.
Yes, there were 2, and I started my day on one that was also strong hand, weak hand only.
Oh,
so yeah, So my first stage of the day, after not firing a round through a gun for 2 weeks, minus like function checking my gun on Friday, was on a 6 round required with your strong hand, reload 6 required with your weak hand Virginia count, with low ports being like a foot off the ground low ports. So and there were two of them. So you shot like the outside, and then there was like an upper port that you shot through, and then a lower port, and then it was mirrored on the other side.
Was this one of the smaller stages?
Yep. This was a small stage on Bay 1.
Okay.
So that sucked. I hated to start that way. And Bay 2 was fine. It did have kind of a 180 trap that I wasn't a fan of, but and I wasn't a fan because of it also because I took a mic because I was shooting into the sun and I put red dot on paper and just
it was
started
the wrong
throwing
red
rounds. Dot. Probably, I don't know. It was a 25-yard shot. Like, who knows? Maybe
you should get one of those target focused trainers that Vince sells. Drink at Stonebridge Gunworks.
And I was wearing my glasses, so it might have worked, but I also haven't trained with it before. So, that goes into one of my other problems. Don't change your equipment shortly before you go somewhere.
No. Stick with what you got. Run what you bring or been bringing.
I realized I was running out of Supervel, and my reloads weren't like I wasn't sure of their quality yet. So I ordered Blazer Brass, and I did not realize that it is 143 power factor. And
really?
Yeah. Oh, it's spicy.
What grain?
124.
Oh, okay. I was shooting 115s. And
is there 115 make power factor?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna go to where did I shoot through a chrono? Where did I shoot recently? Kansas, Free State. Change match. Free State. There it is. Come on. Okay. Chrono. I was... Oh, weird. Practice Score Competitor is doing weird stuff to Chrono. What the hell? It like jumbled up the lines. Like, won't... What the fuck? Okay. I got 6th place. Hey. Chrono. I shot 134 power factor.
Out of 115s, that's impressive.
1167, 1168, and 1160.
Yep, I think I was like 1100 with 124. So they do not skimp on the powder.
No, but like, I guess I didn't think I cannot. I ended up bringing Blazer to Free State because the ammo I loaded was not going to make power factor.
Yep.
It was they were 124s and most of them were under 1,000 feet per second. That math doesn't work to 125. Oopsies. But I didn't notice the difference shooting them. I really didn't. I did not notice
and normally,
whether I'm shooting the Blazers that are 134 power factor or whatever I just said, or if it was my sub-minor hand loads, I didn't notice a difference.
And maybe it's all mental because like my mental game was fucked the entire day.
I would go with that probably.
Because, but I mean, the rounds were spicy, and again, shooting into the sun for the first 2 big stages sucked massive dick. And then a lot of the stages, I almost had kind of an IPSC feel. I've never shot an IPSC match, so I can't really say that directly, but they were kind of like very, very kind of short coursey. Like
well, that's pretty normal for Iowa.
Yeah, but like they only had like 3 me and Steven agreed were like field course style stages, and that kind of sucked. For me, I don't know.
Like just because it didn't play to your strengths.
No, it was more just kind of like eh. But again, I was not in the game, and so I was just like eh. I'm not.
Did you not get shit faced the night before?
I actually did, and then I woke up at 4 a.m. and could not go back to sleep.
Oh.
So I was running on about 3 hours of sleep, which isn't actually uncommon for me.
Okay.
But I normally don't spend 3.5 hours laying in bed trying to go to sleep and then be saying, fuck it.
Yeah.
Go to the range. So that didn't help. Again, didn't really put in the work to do any kind of decently. Like, I just kind of showed up and was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. But
I mean, okay, remove your to use your own words, shitty performance from
Yes.
the table. Okay. When you think about the stages, was there really anything wrong with them, or are you just like, I've shit the bed, I hate this match, it sucked?
I was more bored.
Okay.
I don't know. It was. I
Like,
don't want to.
So,
Don't want to sound like
because
Joel Park, but like
well,
there weren't a lot of options to. It was
okay,
do you
like
go-
last year was one of the better Iowa matches I've ever been to.
Yep.
Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I really liked Iowa last year.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
it just wasn't as good as it normally is. Is that all?
Right.
Okay.
Right. I would say that like of matches I've shot this year, it would be like Minnesota Cornhusker were kind of my two favorites. They had a lot of field courses. I tend to like field courses. And then Great Plains, and then Iowa would definitely be last on that list by a large margin. Again, it's hard to decide if it's because I shot like shit that I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
or
hard to be
that-
objective when you have a bad day.
Right. And so like, and it was like really bad. I had nine mics.
Oh, damn. I texted Steven to say congratulations on his second place, and I also thought it was quite funny that he redacted your name from the scores.
Thank you, Steven.
Redacted.
And I know you're not supposed to do this, and you shouldn't, but I went through and I changed all my mics to Charlie's, and if I wouldn't have shit the bed that hard, I would have shot a decent match. I think I was still 1% behind Steven. But again, Steven shot an awesome match. Like, it was a very, very strong performance.
Yes, let's build up his head really, really big and fat so he can fuck up at the night match.
Me and Shuv tried to fuck with him all day, and nothing got through the walls.
Really?
Nothing. Nope. He held strong.
Oh, good for him. No, he was 87% of. Oh wait, I switched it back to combined, so all the scores are screwed up. Let me switch it back to carry optics. Okay, 87.82% of Ben Eggleston, the winner. Ben had 2 mics and a procedural. I'm guessing probably FTSA. That usually when you see 2 mics
Football.
and 1 procedural. Oh, he had a foot fault.
Yep.
Oh, so he had 2 regular mics and a foot fault.
Yep, I went through and changed me, Steven, and Ben's, and just removed all the penalties just to see where we stacked up.
All right.
And it was in the system as a foot fault.
Steven only had 1 mic on the day. He shot
And that was-
87% of the points.
And that one
Oh,
sucked
yeah.
because
It wasn't even a
was
real mic.
Yeah, it was he had a stuck round in the chamber, or a stuck casing that the extractor didn't fully take out. And so he did the smart thing and was like, I'm just going to stop, because it was his last shot on the stage.
It was, yeah. He had a malfunction, racked it out. He didn't have any bullets left,
Yeah.
and just left it. So the 1 mic was sort of it wasn't a marksmanship error. It was a bad luck mic.
Yeah, but I did have fun hanging with the peoples. Like, it's fun being there with your friends the night before, and again, the staff at Iowa, super nice people. I know a lot of them. So it's always like, oh hey, how have you been? Good to see you. Blah blah blah.
So Jeff's not really shitting on the match.
No, I didn't enjoy the stages because they weren't my style or flavor, and I shot them like shit. But overall, I had a day hanging with the friends. It was decent. But the video that Andy was referring to earlier, that
Should we talk
was
about that now?
Let's talk about
Yes,
that. 'cause
let's talk
that was
about
a very butt puckering moment.
Well, I don't really get butt puckered when someone torches one off into the ground in front of them. It's when the muzzle comes back towards me that my butt puckers. Bullets going nearly over the berm or over the berm, that makes me go. "Ugh." But okay, he posted it on our Reddit, so I have no problem with saying his name, Owen, our friend in Omaha,
Or Ian.
or Ian.
Every RO that did not know him called him Ian because his name is Eion.
Oh yeah. Well, and there is the actor Eon Bailey who pronounces it Eon. It's a little different than Owens, but it's like an Irish name. And anyway, so it's a table start, and when he picks it up, I don't have audio. I don't have audio coming to the computer. He picks up the gun, and well, wait, I can play the audio, and yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh no, that'll feedback. I can't do that. Never mind. He picks up the gun, and the gun's on the way up to the first target, and he torches a round off. Now, is it beyond 10 feet?
Yes, they checked.
Oh, they did. Okay, so there was question. To me, that's the only DQ in this instance.
Yep.
There was someone who, in the comments of that, there's already 6 comments. Let's see. Somebody said an AD, and they cited Rule 1047, which is shooting around while retrieving a staged firearm. So where does retrieval of firearm end and engaging target begin? Basically, all of the AD rules in the USPSA rulebook are bullshit because engaging targets or aiming at targets is not defined in the rulebook. When I took the CRO class, Ray Hurst was the instructor, and this is an RMI, a range master instructor for USPSA, and he is adamant. And Ray will disagree with a lot of the think tank that is NROI. He's like, there's basically no such thing as an unaimed shot while moving because you don't have to. Aiming's not defined, and I've shot targets without looking down the sights before, under walls. Okay. That isn't a DQ. So, to me, if there isn't a target within 10 feet and the bullet lands within 10 feet, that's a DQ. Outside of that, no DQ. But they let him finish the stage and then measured it. Is that what they did?
I think
Looks like that's what they did.
I think they kind of walked it out, and they're like, "Yeah, you're good, but we all know." But
that's the thing, though. You know, it's bullshit, or you torched a round off when you didn't mean to.
Right, and the ROs were specifically like, "Yep, you were totally trying to shoot that popper and just jerked it." This is an example of something that may break a rule, but is not inherently unsafe. Like, because if there's a target there, nothing wrong with it. Right.
Now, typically, we put things behind the target to make sure the bullets aren't skipping and flying off the range. So that is a little bit of a difference. But at our club matches, we usually don't.
Right.
Maybe there's a tire behind it. Maybe there's not. Depending on where it is or how the angle is. If it's like straight into the ground, we don't even bother. It's just going to dig a hole. So, yeah.
Because watching it live, I thought he grabbed it from the table and it went off. So watching the video actually made it more sighting with him than because I was off to I was standing to the right of where he started, and so I had I was 10 or 15 yards away. So for me, it looked like he grabbed it and it went off before his support hand even came up. And so I was like, "Oh shit!" But he kept going and they didn't stop him. And then but then watching it, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no, that makes." I understand it now because at the end of the day, how, I mean, I've seen C-class shooters jerk a gun that hard.
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah, and like you said, the rule for the rule to work, you must define all the terms. And
yes.
If this would have been a DQable offense, someone with a non-zero dot can also be DQ'd for quote unquote you lit one off and you missed it. And you're like, no, I was aiming for the steel. My dot is just 10 feet high. So
if it could adjust that far, but no, I get what you mean.
So
go ahead.
So yeah, I err with the side of the shooter on this one. I mean,
Yes.
Owen is my friend, but like, if I was the RO, I'd be like, yeah, well, okay. We all agree that was maybe get your sport hand on the gun next time, but
The tricky part for an RO though is not yelling stop right away. Like I think the ROs, and now that I know they did measure it afterwards or at least walked it off, they did it the right way. Let him finish the stage because it was somewhere in the vicinity of 10 feet, clearly. Because there is an 8-foot wall nearby, and the angle of the camera you can't tell for sure, but it's like, it's definitely more than 8 feet, but is it more than 10 feet? I don't know.
right.
So not yelling stop right away was definitely the right call in the moment, and then figure it out after the stage because it was not like a no-brainer automatic.
Right, and there's a question of, are all DQable offenses unsafe at their core? And it's like,
No.
what he is doing right now, no one is unsafe right now.
No one was
has
in
just-
direct danger.
Right. It was like a, ooh, shit. But it wasn't gun pointed at someone, gun pointed at self, like injury going to happen. It was a, that's weird. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, yeah, it was awful, but like when I was shooting limited with my tac sport, I came around the corner once on the way up and but it went way farther than 10 feet, so it wasn't an issue. Tyler, Silencer Tyler, that filled in for you on the Patreon episode last week.
yep.
He got DQ'd on our last stage of Area 3 back in like 2020. Coming around the corner of a wall, he goes to build his grip, and his support hand got a little too high, and his support hand index finger pulled the trigger when he was re-gripping, and the bullet went way farther than 10 feet. It actually landed at the base of the berm. And at Grand Island, all those bays are pretty good sized. I mean, it landed 15 yards away at least. And he knew it was a DQ, so he just stopped and started unloading his gun.
Right.
And that was when he learned you just keep going until the RO tells you to stop.
Right.
Because the RO didn't stop him. Him. They were kind of confused as to what was going on. So
Right. I tell all my students, you keep fighting until the ref pulls you off. Like, you didn't hear anything. Keep going.
yeah. All right. So this was in the Patreon episode. I don't think this was on the public end of it. So I have a little bit of news for you.
Okay.
So remember when we were doing NAS dad jokes?
Yes.
And I said, what does Andy and a piece of shit have in common?
Correct.
Do you remember what the punchline was?
Your draw?
No, neither one of them are going to make master.
Ruh-roh.
Well, it turns out I was wrong. I did.
Ha ha. Sucks to be you.
In rimfire pistol open.
Hell yeah.
Which kind of feels like, oh, so I made master in JV is kind of what it feels like. I mean, I don't mean to shit on people who shoot that sport and it's like their favorite thing ever, but I was just I still don't consider myself a master, but I did while we were recording the Patreon episode. Me and Tyler, I looked at the Steel Challenge app and I'm like, oh shit! I actually fucking made master from the Cornhusker Classic Steel Challenge match a couple weekends ago. So, I can rub elbows with you and Steven and say that I'm also a master now. I guess
There you go.
sort of, but not in the same sport. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I've had people be like, "Oh, dude, I'm a master shooter," and you're like, "Oh, cool. Like, what? In what?" And they're like, "Well, like rimfire rifle.
pistol open."
And like again, like what you said, not to shit on people who do have the like, it can be very tough to get those levels, or at least be competitive within the skill set, depending on depending if it was after 2017 or not. But like they keep adjusting those times down because those kids and I can legitimately call them kids because most
A
of
lot of them are kids.
yeah, they're not even 18 yet. They are insane to watch shoot. Like I've RO'd for them several times, and it's like watching a robot just bing 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 bing.
Oh yeah,
bing 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 bing, and you're like, what the okay? And you read off the times, you're like, your 4 times together equals more than like 2 runs for me. This is bullshit.
Yeah. No, if you want to get good at transitions, shoot Steel Challenge.
Yep.
Because my first 2 stages, I forgot, oh yeah, this whole game is transitions. And I thought I was moving my eyes ahead of the gun, but I wasn't really. Not with any sort of deliberate speed. And
right.
On the third or halfway through the second stage, I started very deliberately like shoot the target with your eyes before you shoot it with the gun. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to burn some shit down, and I had several M-class stages after that. I think I had 3 or 4 in the match. And it literally, I flipped a switch by just literally shoot the targets with your eyes before you shoot them with your gun. Yep. And Todd actually was trying to bribe me talk me into shooting with his, because it is rimfire pistol open, and I'm shooting it with a Mark IV light with a Burris fast fire on it.
Hell yeah.
And so I made master with a gun that's not ideal. Yep. You know, it fits the division, but it is not ideal. And Todd was like, hey, you want to shoot my, I don't know what it was called, but it's basically, an Atlas rimfire open gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it looks like a 1911.
Yeah,
but
it is. It's like a 2011 or 1911
with a single stack
with a frame mounted optic. And one guy had one and a magwell, because that's really useful in Steel Challenge. But anyway, those guns don't move when they go off because they're heavy in the whole 9. And my Ruger Mark IV light, they call it light for a reason, because the whole thing's plastic except the barrel and the trigger parts, and that's it. Otherwise, the whole thing's plastic. It's really light. Like, it actually has a recoil impulse, sort of like a centerfire gun. It's so light. If you're shooting high velocity, mini mags out of it, it actually has some recoil, but I'm not a bitch. So it wasn't really a big deal. And
correct.
As long as I had to crush the fuck out of the gun with both hands, though, that I had to crush the fuck out of it with both hands. And it was fine. So that match went pretty good for me. I think I got 6th overall.
Oh, nice.
In that division. But then we shot our last regular club match of the year, and I shot a class fire, and it was just shy of an M-class run. Oh, wait, no, it'll run tomorrow. I'll finally get rid of the fucking stupid 67% I shouldn't have on my classification record, because it's fucking stupid. Anyway, so I'll be back up into the 80s in limited optics. But I found out something that I don't. You alluded to it because you thought I was going there. I actually went somewhere else first. My draw sucks.
Okay.
And I'm good at drawing a pistol, right?
Right.
Yeah. Usually that's like my advantage. And then I watched the video of my classifier run from the other night, and I'm like, oh, this is what not dry firing does.
Correct.
My first shot after the gun's up, it's like, I don't recall not seeing the dot right away, but I didn't shoot right away. So either I was adjusting or I didn't trust it. And my draw was way longer than it should have been for a fucking 4-yard target.
Right.
Or it's not even that. It's like 3, not even 3. It's like 2.5 yards. All the targets are like 8 feet on that stage. It was 2002.
Yeah.
We had to shoot it in the dark because it got dark.
Yeah, I saw you're glad we kept the lights from the night match.
Yeah. So we grabbed the lights that we used to light up the berm for the night match last spring, and we just had 3 lights and lit up the 3 target arrays, and it worked fine. It worked great.
Nice.
But no, my draw sucks. So it turns out I haven't practiced drawing the tac sport enough. Everything else about shooting it is I'm kind of kicking ass, but I just didn't. I didn't realize my draw was sucking so bad, and if I shot one more alpha, it would have been an M class run, or if I would have just shot it a little faster without a shitty draw. I didn't check what my draw time was, but I would guess it was probably 130, which is actually kind of pokey for me on an 8-foot target.
Yep.
That's real pokey for me. That should be sub 1 second for sure. So, I'm going to dry fire starting in January again. Okay.
Same Z's.
You forgot to mention you got hurt at Iowa.
So, Iowa, it was kind of a prop heavy match, and I realize I'm not a fan of props that much.
When you say prop, what do you mean?
So they had a door stage. They had one.
They usually have one door stage.
Yeah,
not always, but they usually have one.
Yeah, and they had one stage where like you had to pull these like cords to activate the swingers. So, but like USPSA rules, you can't activate them before the time, so you don't know how heavy they are.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, I yanked it so hard I almost broke it.
Well, if you'd have broke it, you'd have got to reshoot.
Exactly. Oh, because I watched Owen pull and didn't pull enough, and it didn't activate, so he had to like go back and reactivate it. Which I was like, well, that sucks. Like, he didn't know how hard he was supposed to yank it.
So Jeff, smash.
Correct. When all else fails, apply force. So it. Like there wasn't like a heavy propness to it, but there was enough to annoy me, especially because on the door prop, I injured myself and got a cut that would not stop bleeding.
Oh.
So what had happened was someone had shot through that door at some time. The door was repaired because there was no bullet hole that I could see through, but there was the like outward mushrooming or flowering of the metal, like a bullet had gone through it. And so I didn't notice it when I was doing my walkthrough. So when I ripped that door open, I just jammed my arm through and shot. And I didn't actually notice I was injured till I got done shooting. And I looked down and I'd see blood like running down the side of my arm.
Where on your arm did you get cut up?
So it's an annoyingly small spot, but it's like right on my elbow.
Oh.
And so I tried to put like 3 different Band-Aids on, and every time
like the tip of your elbow?
Almost like,
oh yeah,
like,
that sucks.
Yeah. And so I mean, even one of a friend from my club who was a firefighter, he tried to like get a Band-Aid to work and it just wouldn't stay. There's too much movement there. And so it was like, well, I guess I'm airing it out. So that added to my already kind of foul mood. So that was going back to like being able to dress a wound. I'm like, I don't know. Am I supposed to get a tetanus shot? I don't know.
For a cut there, my son got a pretty nasty gash riding on a sled behind a 4-wheeler at my in-laws' house. I think he was like 9 at the time. And it's right on his knee. I mean, right on the tip of his kneecap. Right. If there isn't a worse place for a 9-year-old boy to get a nasty cut that requires stitches, I can't think of a worse place.
Right.
Because all he did was break it open. Every time it would scab, it would start bleeding underneath. And then he just banged it doing, like, at the ninja gym. Like, his foot missed the middle of the trampoline and it went between the springs, and then he hit his knee on the bar. He wasn't hurt, except that he busted the scar open. The scar wasn't totally healed, and it just started bleeding like crazy, and had to get it stitched again. And so I was like, dude, if you want this to heal and get back to normal, you got to wear a knee pad, like, all the time for the next 6 months. And he didn't want to do it. And then I'm like, no, it's this, or you're going to fight this forever. And because the doctor said it's just got to heal. You got to protect it. So got some volleyball knee pads, and he wore one of them on that knee every day for 6 months until finally he forgot to wear it and banged it on something and it didn't break open. And he's like, oh, good. So like, yeah, that's when we were like, I don't need it anymore. By the way, they fucking stunk so bad because he's wearing them every day. He's not washing them every day.
Correct.
Ugh. Anyway, I digress. So let's see. Let's move on to ENPS makes a decision on USPSA.
Yeah.
So that's your club.
Yes,
What decision do they have to make about USPSA? What's the problem? Is there an issue? What's the problem?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a problem?
We are home of the howler monkey. We have a very active memeing community, and so we decided to check in with our local club members, and Steven was gracious enough to create a survey and send it out to people who had shot more than 2 matches or something like that. And we actually
I think it was shot 1 because I got the email. I happen to have shot 2 matches down there, actually 3 this year. But
yeah, I forget the criteria, but he did the survey and it told a very clear picture. 88% of people answered the question, what match format would you prefer us to host for our monthly matches? 88% said USPSA or I don't care.
what was the split between those two?
So USPSA was 47%. I just want to shoot was 41%.
Oh, okay. So don't give a shit or USPSA.
Yep.
And USPSA was still the highest of the 3.
Yep. And then hit factor was 12%. So
I'll admit when I answered, I just wrote down, I just want to shoot because I didn't want to be a company man.
correct.
That's all.
Right. And so of 66 respondents to this question, 7 said that they wish to continue shooting hit factor. I also didn't answer it because I don't have a strong opinion, actually. I like little bits of hit factor, but I'm just tired of the drama. And so, but, 30-something people were like, I would prefer to be USPSA, and 41% were like, yeah, I don't really care. And I kind of took that to mean I would prefer, well, let me jump to the next question, and then you'll understand why I put those two together. It was also asked, regardless of your choice above, would you like us to provide the opportunity to shoot USPSA classifiers on a regular basis? And 85% said yes. So that's
almost the exact same number, or
Right.
slightly lower number said that.
Correct. So one person difference, really. And so that's why I put the two together. People want to shoot classifiers. They don't necessarily, like one person in the comment section, maybe we could shoot PCSL. And I'm like, they don't really have a classification system. Like, what the fuck does that
Max
matter?
is working on one, I guess.
Yeah, but shit, we can make one for hit factor in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So based off of this information to appeal to the consumer of our sport, we will be shooting USPSA. Our original plan was that we were going to be shooting hit factor for our monthly matches, and Steven has started a weekly match on Wednesdays that he was going to do as our USPSA matches. Maybe that'll vice versa, or maybe they'll all just be USPSA because he won't be doing classifiers. I don't think.
For
the
the
Wednesday
weeknights?
matches?
Are they
Yeah.
are they every week?
No. I think like every other week or every few weeks.
That's still
well,
I mean, that's still pretty often.
he also only, I think he did 3 this year, and so he started them in like August because he was deployed.
Right.
So I don't actually. I'll be honest. I don't actually know the exact schedule that he's planning for, but yeah. So it looks like a resounding majority of people want to go back to USPSA and have a classification system, and it kind of demonstrates the minority screech, the loud minority paradox.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yep, is the people who care about hit factor, those 12 people, are board members, or they're loud, active competitors that make their voices heard. The average Joe who shows up, shoots your match, says hi to you. He's a good pacer or might run the tablet every once in a while. He doesn't care or wanted to shoot USPSA. The loud minority that's like, we're shooting Hit Factor because, rebellion, RAR, revolution. They are a distinct minority within the club.
I will say this as a USPSA board member, and I kind of was leading in some way the protest, at least in our section, because I had a section match to run and I wanted to know what to do with it. And literally right after I became the Area 3 director, I ran the Great Plains Hit Factor Championship.
Yep.
Because me going in got drug out. I mean, the election got drug out for so long, and then finally there was no election after Luke
Faust
dropped out. And so then it was just like, do. Like, I was definitely one of the protesters. Like, if anybody's on a list, I'm on the list, But
right.
Here's the thing, though. I guess, excuse me, I will occasionally see rabble whenever a thing happens, and I'm all in favor of rabble. Like, I like rabble. That means people care about it.
Right.
And like, I'm one of them. I'm a strong rabbler. I mean, I've sent lots of rabble and emails to other board members. Believe me. But on some level, the biggest cause for outrage is gone because the vast majority of the people who are making stupid fucking decisions on the board are not there anymore.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean because we have an all new board, suddenly we have the inability to make stupid decisions. Like, that could have happened. I think we dodged the bullet on one here in the last board meeting. So, which I was sort of spearheading. I don't know if I was the spearhead, but
yeah,
but I was fairly vocal about it.
Right.
And so that didn't happen. And I guess, okay, at what point are people coming back? Lots of clubs have already come back. I have not once, as the area director, gone to a club and said, you should really come back. I haven't done it once. That is entirely up to the club. It's not that I don't care. I do care. But I guess I look at it as, why, if a club's not coming back, I don't say you should come back. Because that's how board members have traditionally been. It's been like, hey, you. No, that's not how this works. I'll just say, what would it take for you to come back?
Right.
If a club's not going to, what would it take? And that's the only thing I've ever said. What do you want to see? I just ask questions. I have yet to do anything. And there's going to be a number of clubs in our area that I didn't think we were going to talk about USPSA politics at all, but here we go. There's going to be a few clubs that don't make the minimums for reaffiliation. 7 matches a year, 4 classifiers.
Yep.
The 4 matches is the big one, or pardon me, 7 matches is the one. Like my club, even we're not going to get there this year. I think we'll run 4. I think by the time it's all said and done. Yep. Now, luckily, the bylaws are written in such a way that the only person who it's really up to reaffiliate is the section coordinator. So the section coordinator in Great Plains is a good friend of mine, Robert. He has assured me he will reaffiliate my club this year.
Right.
Due to extenuating circumstances. So that's how that works. It's not up to USPSA. It's not up to the area directors. It's up to the section coordinators. So... Yep. And if there was a section coordinator who was going to get snippy about it, I mean, I don't have the power to make him do it, but I would have a chat with him. Are you sure you really don't want to really reaffiliate this club? What good does it do?
Right. And like you said, there's the conversation about, okay, where does it end? And like, several of the board members at my club were like, okay, like, what are our demands? Because we're kind of in the like, we're in rebellion, and you're like, cool, what do we want to happen? We're in rebellion, and you're like, we need like some points. And
what is the point of the rebellion? Rebellion!
Rebellion! Rabble.
One of my favorite moments in South Park is when it's just a bunch of people going, rabble.
Yes. And so it's a good question to be like, okay, like I agree, revolution. Let's tick off that. Give me that 5-point list. Like let's knock these out, because we have transitioned. The majority of the board is either gone or has been replaced or is being replaced. And now we have a new set of people that, like you said, that's not going to make it magically better the next day. That's not how the world works.
No, the grind is slow, and that's how it should be. The fact that there are, I can't remember where I heard it. It might have been in a board meeting. It might have been in an email. It might have been somebody who's not on the board. I don't remember. But somebody said, we never used to have votes where it wasn't unanimous. Right. But you do now. How it fucking should be. Like, there shouldn't be 9-0 votes all the time. I mean, on committee assignments, yeah, sure. Like little things that it's just a procedural thing. We're just, yeah. All those in favor? Hi. Those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Right.
But when it comes to shit that matters, like the old board would come to consensus. They wanted to put a united front on. So they would work it out until they could all vote yes on it. No.
Right.
No. 100% no. Because just like, our political system in our country is not perfect, but there's a lot of what people will call gridlock. I like gridlock. That means things can't change on a dime and turn in a fucking 180 degree direction. Like, change is slow, and that's good. We don't need to be able to drastically change things unless everybody 100% agrees on it. So I think that's a good thing. We don't need to be voting 100% in the same direction. And there's stuff that, board members I like very much. There are some issues I fucking disagree with them like crazy about some things. But in other things, I agree 100%. But I like almost everybody on the board. So take that for what you will. All right. Reddit. Let's see. Jeff went to Germany. Someone asked, wait, I got to get back to that. Where is it? Shit. All of a sudden, I posted up a, hey, super thread. And then every time one of us posts a super thread, that's when like everybody remembers, oh yeah, we can post cool shit. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not bitching, guys. Anyway, Jeff's back from Germany. From Steven, why is Jeff afraid of practicing by himself?
Because I'm a bitch and I have severe ADHD and I get bored quickly. So I basically go down, shoot super quick, realize that I spent more time setting up than I did shooting, and then I get annoyed and then I go home. And I don't feel like I improve. I like to have a metric, so I like practicing with Steven or Nick or Lane because it can both push me, but it can also make me realize that I'm being unreasonable.
You could also just do little short practices that fit your brain.
It's a 25-minute drive there and back with a 30-minute or with a 10 to 15-minute setup.
Well, I don't do a 10 to 15-minute setup. Like, do some shit with just a couple of target stands.
Yeah.
Anyway, from Ray Fufu. Jeff, where'd you go in Germany? He's heading to, he's going to ÖtterSchlöng, or no,
ÖtterSchlöng.
ÖtterSchlöng.
Schwang, yeah.
It's not ÖtterSchlöng?
No, it's not ÖtterSchlöng.
It should be ÖtterSchlöng.
So,
where'd you go in Germany, Jeff?
So I went to Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the castle that Disney is based off of. The Disney castle is based off of.
Oh.
Then I stayed in a town called Rothenburg, which is on the Romantic Road. It looks like almost like a Disney village. It's like a 15th century fortress city. So like they still have the wall up, and you can walk the wall, and it's super super cool. And then we went to Dinkelberg. We stopped there for the day. That was nice. And then I was in Munich for 5 days, and I went to Oktoberfest for 3 of them. It was magical and awesome, and I've never drank that much beer in my life. One day, me and my buddy realized that by the end of the day, we had both drank something like 8 liters of beer each.
Wow.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Well done. I have to ask an obvious question, though.
Yes.
Are you sure you didn't go to Septemberfest? Okay. Snobby, raise your nose.
Yes. It is called Oktoberfest because it was held in October, and then people realized that October in Germany sucks dick, and so they moved it to nicer weather. So
So it's kind of like October in South Dakota. It could be real shitty or real nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they were like, I thought it was to like celebrate the harvest. No, it was just what their king got married on like October 11th or October 3rd. I forget the date.
Well, if you're there on September 26th, who gives a shit?
Right, and it's a 3-week festival. So, by that point, you're like, fuck it, move it.
All right. From Owen, Jeff, did you see anything cool or interesting gun related during your trip?
No, I saw the cops are interesting there because they look like the bad guys in all like dystopian future movies. They wear all black fatigues with a black beret.
Really?
They look badass. I got yelled at by one. 2 gentlemen had apparently broke the rules. So the cops stand in like a circle of 8, just shoulder to shoulder, looking outward. And
Polizei!
Yes, Polizei. And I was walking with my friends from one beer tent to another, and I just hear move. And I look over, and what looks like a metal drummer is leading this like pack of 8 cops, and they have these 2 dudes like heads facing ground, arms in sky, like speed walking them through the crowd. And this dude is just screaming. And I'm like, I'm just going to step back. Like, I'm quite terrified. But the gun selection, it was a lot of Walthers and HKs. One of them I saw, it was on a drop leg, and it was so loose that it was actually behind his leg. And I was like, I could steal that gun right now.
Yeah. I saw that when we had the air show here this summer. There were a number of security force people that were at the gate, and I'm sitting on a bus waiting to get in the base, and I saw this gal who's very short-legged, and she's got a drop leg holster that does not fit her leg. Yep. And it's basically, if she sits down, she's basically sitting on her pistol. And I'm like, oh, she's carrying my gun. Okay. Yeah. I also I Googled German cops images, and something from Reddit, of course, comes up in our picks. Ridiculously photogenic German police and protester. And they're all smiling at the camera as they're like hauling this guy off. They're all smiling and kind of cute, and they're wearing their berets. Aw, how cute. Okay. Now, not a German Oktoberfest Jeff question. What company are people using for a bullet company for reloading? I ordered 125 grain 9mm bullets from a company, and it's been almost a month, and they still haven't shipped. Any good recommendations?
I still stick with Blues. I've literally never shot anything but them, so I'm not the best person to ask. I know people are going to Brass Monkey bullets.
Brass Monkey, I hear Tanfo Timmy likes the Brass Monkey.
Yep.
And they have the Stormtrooper bullets. They've got a white coating. They've got a better coating. I remember watching Tanfo Timmy videos, and he was usually shooting a diesel. And lots of smoke coming out of there, and I guess their newer bullets don't smoke as much, kind of like the blue bullets don't smoke. Like a lot of coated bullets just have like a thin Acme coating, and they smoke like a motherfucker, and you don't want them in your they just make your gun smoke like crazy. I fought with them. Blues, I just haven't used Brass Monkey. I'm not opposed to it, but I just kind of stick with what I know.
Correct.
I basically shoot berries, copper plated, or blue bullets is what I use pretty much. Or this year, 2 of the 3 majors I shot, or 2 of the 4 majors I shot. No, 3 of the 4 I shot with. Did I shoot? No, I used hand loads for Cornhusker. I'm pretty sure. But 2 of the majors I shot Blazer Brass. So I shot factory, but yeah. Okay, air rifles / guns. Who are they for? Felons? Because it feels like felons. There was a YouTube short that came across his feed. This guy's got like looks like an AR-15, but it's airsoft.
I guess maybe it's like a BB, like a.
I started reading it before I understood what was going on. Pepper balls and stuff. Yeah, sure. Let's go with felons. I mean, legit air rifles are kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're good for introducing new people to guns. They're good for for eradicating pesky animals in suburban neighborhoods.
Yeah, because they're quiet. It's like already suppressed.
If I'm understanding correctly, and he's like referring to BB guns, I don't know, because that's when I first read it. That's what I'm reading. But other than that, idiots. I read a story about one guy who his dad told him, he's like, I bought an AR-15. He's like, you're a felon. How'd you buy an AR-15? He's like, I bought it. I paid $1,600 for it. It's a great one. And he went there and he had bought a BB gun, like a full auto BB gun.
He paid $1,600 for a BB gun?
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the dude like apparently like walked up and he's like, oh, and he like kept a straight face. He's like, oh, I guess you did buy a full auto AR-15. Good for you. And like he like tried to take it to the gun range, and apparently like the gun range person, or like the gun range wouldn't let him on the range with it because BB gun. And so he's like, call my son, ask him. I showed him.
Like,
and
why not? I don't get why ranges don't allow BB guns.
Hard to clean up.
As opposed to all the bullets that hit the berm? What's wrong with BBs hitting the berm?
It's the BBs that are like rolling around on the floor.
Oh, indoor range.
Yeah, indoor range. Sorry.
Okay. I'm thinking of an outdoor range going, why? Okay. Yeah, indoor range makes way more sense. Okay.
Yeah, and
now I get it.
And they said the clerk behind the counter was like, no, dude, like we're not letting you on the range with this, blah blah blah. And he's like, he had him call his son, and the son explained, and apparently he was very pissed off. And he's like, whatever.
You posted an image of 2 very old fat men at a fast food restaurant, which I think that looks like the tile from an old Hardee's or Carl's Jr. if you're in a different part of the country.
But it's got like a Chick-fil-A cup kind of.
Yeah, and a Chick-fil-A cup. And Aaron pointed out in this thread, I'm pretty sure that's an AI generated image, because like
once he pointed that out, I did agree.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't at first. I'm like, why? And then he's like, zoom in on the menu board, and the menu board is like in the wrong place compared to the registers. Like right, no one has their menu board left of the registers.
And none of it is in like clear enough English to
it's all garbled.
Read.
It's not even in low resolution. It's like not real.
Right. And then someone pointed out like one of the guys is what looks like he's holding the magwell.
Yeah, he's gripping nothing. He's squeezing. I said he was gripping the magwell, but he's actually gripping nothing, and his finger is on the magwell.
Like he had it above the trigger guard.
Yeah.
Which good finger discipline, AI. But then once he said it was AI, I started looking at it more.
Yeah,
and
it's like a Where's Waldo of AI fakery.
Yeah. So like the front sight is an optic, a light.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I've fallen for the AI trap."
Oh,
And the other dude
It
has
was
two
fun, though.
foregroups, right? And here's the thing, and I'm going to defend myself slightly because I'm an arrogant person like that. It's believable.
yeah. AI is fucking scary.
No, right? No, but like
Like it
you
fooled
could
you.
imagine. Right, but you could imagine seeing these two gentlemen,
Oh,
or two
100%.
gentlemen that look like this.
Oh, this has happened. This has
Right.
happened 100%. Like it's not like this has not happened. So like the conversation devolved into this is AI, and then like, oh yeah, it totally is. But this has fucking happened before. Two assholes with one of them's carrying a couple of ARs, one strung upside down on his back, and then one sort of in his hand. Well, that could be the AI bullshit. The other guy has got one and plate carrier that doesn't fit over his gut, and walking into a restaurant to
booty
order.
hats.
Like,
Yeah,
is it hurting or helping? Was your headline? It's hurting.
Yeah.
This isn't helping.
right, and so that's where the joke came from, and Booger Fart 42069.
My favorite handle
He goes-
in the NAS
and
Reddit.
He responded to it as from the perspective of if it was real, and he goes, "These dudes are about as useful as a purple-haired wacko with a rainbow flag shirt shouting about gender fluidity." And I said, "Yes,
They're-
you
yeah.
are 100%. You're
They're
100%
the same
correct."
thing.
Going back to the loud minority is 99.9% of people are like, those fucking weirdos. Like
Yeah.
both sides, those fucking weirdos. Just please stop. Just stop.
I posted a video with NSFW content. Leaning on a rifle at a South American gun range is a bad idea because you'll blow your arm off. Did you see that one?
I didn't. Where was
Oh,
that?
it's like the last of the new shit that you would
God.
recognize. It's the oldest.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah,
Have you seen
this
that one before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a, I don't know what, it looks like a high-powered rifle. A rifle of some kind, it looks like. At an indoor range, he's leaning on the muzzle of it with his left forearm, and then all of a sudden it goes off. I don't even know how he set it off, but it goes off, and it shreds his forearm.
Yeah, it's just blood everywhere.
Yeah. No, there's, oh man, that idiots with guns on Reddit. You don't have to go too far before you will find somebody shooting themselves in the head.
Yep.
Like-
the first time I scrolled through it didn't take but 5 images for me to find a video of a guy blowing his friend's face off with a shotgun. It was like, oh, that's what I just saw. Okay.
But at the same time, the rest of it, like those videos, when I see them coming, I'm like, oh no, I don't need that in my world. But the rest of them, though, can be quite entertaining. And also, if you're not following gun.slaps on Instagram, you're just not living your life right. That dude is fucking funny. I don't care who he makes fun of. And the thing is, I so badly want to message him and go, is there a gun you do like? Because he makes fun of everybody. And that's what I love about him. He makes fun of fucking everybody. And that's how comedy should be, and satire. It makes fun of everybody. Not just... I mean, he makes more fun of CZ shooters than high point shooters.
Yeah, because it's one of the things of comedy that people forget is you're supposed to punch up. If you punch down, you're a dick.
Well, you can punch in either direction as long as it's funny. I think. Like, actually funny. Not just mean. Mean is not automatically funny. But if it's mean and actually funny... I don't know. I'm kind of okay. If it's mean and directed at someone who deserves it, I guess, let me rephrase.
Right.
Someone who deserves it. Not the innocent, not like, yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? Did we hit it all? Oh, there was one other thing you posted that was quite interesting. Let's hit that and then we'll finish up.
Okay.
The local state of emergency for the city of Okeechobee, Florida, for Hurricane Helene.
That's a great name.
Okeechobee, Florida. Yes. So, explain what this was. You posted it on Reddit.
Yeah, so Florida, Georgia, the southern part of the United States got hit by a really bad hurricane.
Dude, fucking Asheville, North Carolina is like almost to Tennessee, and they got decimated by flooding.
Yep. I've seen mudslides stuff. I mean,
awful.
150 people dead, 600 missing. It's bad.
Yeah.
And so they posted this public notice in Okeechobee, Florida, that under the authority of City Ordinance number 1297, and it was only for like a day, which was weird, from 9 a.m. September 26th to 6 a.m. September 27th. You could not, said declaration prohibits the following acts for the duration of the declared state of emergency: the sale or offer to sell with or without consideration any ammunition, gun, or firearm of any size or description, the intentional display or buy or in any store or shop of any ammunition, gun, or other firearm of any size or description. And then the intentional possession in the public place of a firearm by any person except a duly authorized law enforcement official or person in military service acting in the official performance of their duty. So basically, you can't
do anything with guns at all during this
during this
21-hour period.
Yes, this weird curfew, this 1-day curfew, and this was signed off by the emergency management official Donald Hogan, chief of police here. So it's like it creates a super interesting, conversation around. Okay, like when do emergencies dictate certain things? And like history has taught us that if there's an emergency, you can pretty much get away with anything. And so
but you can. I mean, it can happen if it's allowed to happen.
Correct.
And like COVID was a great example of this. It happened in a lot of places, in a lot of states. Like what happened down in Omaha, well, like during COVID? Like
we locked down.
Okay, but what does that mean? I mean, were restaurants forcibly closed?
I believe so. The definition of forcibly.
Well, I mean, were they ordered to close by a health department or governor or whatever?
I believe so.
Okay. So in my state, I live in Sioux Falls, the largest city in South Dakota. The mayor requested that businesses close that were non-essential.
Right.
They were not required to, though. And our governor, who shot her dog a number of years ago, basically was like, no, I'm going to let people make their own decision. And I think we were about the only state that had no mandatory lockdowns. Schools did. Now, all state offices were closed for a time. Because there was a certain amount of time where we don't know what the fuck's going on, and it's best if people stay home, so the governor closed all state offices. But she didn't close private business. She didn't tell someone, you can't attempt to make a living. And I think, like, our governor gets a lot of shit, and a lot of it's deserved. That is the one thing she did that was fucking great, was she didn't just kowtow to paranoia and panic. And that's kind of what this is, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of the same thing, except DeSantis was like,
Right, which means that the central government of Florida went to these local officials and was like, no, I'm not allowing you to do that, which we may believe that to be correct. I mean, again, this feels like a really weird thing to post for a day. I don't know. I
missed that part of it, that it was only a 21-hour order.
Right. And so, like, I don't know if it's something that they would have had to renew every day, or if it was because the examples I was going to bring up were more like the Alien and Sedition Act, the Espionage Act, espionage. That's not the one I'm looking for. The internment of the Japanese. Like, there are many acts that we do, especially under war. I mean, the Patriot Act. That's another great one that we're still living in. That it's really not hard to convince people through paranoia to do really unnice things. I mean, go listen to the Revolutions podcast. You'll understand. But this was just a very interesting example of it happening in a place where people, Florida is a deep red state with a very,
Strong
fuck you
gun
guys,
culture.
yeah. And the chief of police, the person who's supposed to enforce the laws basically was like, hey, fuck your Second Amendment. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess amendments are privileges, because he just told us it was, because all he has to do is issue ordinance number 1297.
I found out, though, I knew about, just because I looked it up back when COVID was going down 4 years ago. I knew what the powers of the governor were in an emergency, and the way it was worded, she could have taken it in a direction like other states did, but chose not to. And
Yeah.
and it would have been an interpretation thing. It wasn't very plainly spelled out. But in 2021, there was a new law passed after the COVID panic, and it basically said no one has the power to limit anything when it comes to firearms in government, period. And our state, like many other states, like your state now has, after last year, the state has the preemption when it comes to firearms laws, which I think is a very good thing, because we don't need 18 different sets of rules like California has when it comes to firearms.
We just need 50 different ones.
No, we just have one. Well, we have two sets. We have the federal and the state, which are pretty much mirror each other.
Oh, you guys pussed out. You didn't do the Kansas or the Texas one where you were like, hey, full auto's legal here and like suppressors legal here.
Well,
and the feds are like,
here's the thing, though.
We'll test that.
They could be, as long as every single part came from within the state.
I'm pretty sure. Is Texas testing that right now?
I think someone is. One of the states is. I think it was Texas.
Because
I can't remember, because
Kansas tried it, and two dudes are now spending a long time in the federal pokey because of it.
But there was.
I don't intend to be the martyr for this.
No, this is nothing worth martyring yourself over. Not at all. I'm glad there's people out there willing to do it, but I would not, turn an oil filter into a solvent trap into a suppressor and say it was all manufactured in the state. But I mean, that is an interesting question, because while the federal government does have they have a preemption, the supremacy clause, like
Yep.
federal law is the law of the land, but there is also, I don't know what the name for it is, but basically they can only regulate things that related to interstate commerce.
So part of that is the way the NFA is set up is as a tax system. So that's where they actually get the NFA enforcement from, is that it's a tax.
Oh, so they get around the interstate aspect of it.
Sort of. I think it's still a tax on the. That's where like the ability to transport it comes in or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's. I think it's interesting that, a county sheriff decided to tell everyone, hey, you can't sell or offer to sell guns. You can't intentionally display them, and you cannot possess them in public. And I'm like, haha. I guess, Florida man isn't real. Fuck those alligators.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw a video of somebody open the door to their flooded house, and there's a fucking alligator in there. I'm like, God damn.
Someone told me that they found like a 20-foot snake in their pool. I was like,
well, that's just
burn that
Florida
house down.
normal. Even when there's not a hurricane going on. I mean, that shit just happens. I mean, I don't want to live near the swamps. Like, I see these video of people in Louisiana and Florida. No, it looks terrible. I don't want to live in a swamp. All these reptiles that can eat you. No, I don't want to be anywhere near them. I want to live where the only dangerous things are rattlesnakes and mountain lions. And I never see either of them.
And mountain lions never kill anybody.
They do, but it's really rare. Like, super rare.
Yep.
I think there was a fatality this year. And usually they're like super hungry, or they're a mama protecting cubs, basically is how that goes down. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Patreon.com/NotAnotherShootingShow. There will be another episode on Friday that you'll get to hear all of, and the spicy talk. A little tease coming up to next week. I got it booked, Jeff. Vince Drink will be on.
Yay.
Vince Hall from Stonebridge Gunworks. He's going to come and he's going to bring the spice next Wednesday.
Challenge accepted.
He's going to bring some spicy talk, and I am here for it. I'm very excited for it. It's going to be fun. He's going to tell you why you should not use that firing pin in your Shadow 2. And and he's going to try. Well, no, he will do a good job of explaining P320s. I've had conversations with him. It's fascinating. Can't wait to have him on. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.